All right, so have you ever wondered how someone can steal millions of dollars and then just start spending it, without getting caught? That, my friends, is the whole game of money laundering. We're going to break down exactly how this super clever and super illegal process works, and we'll do it by following the story of a thief with a very big problem on his hands. Okay, let's just imagine for a second. You've done it. You've pulled off the heist of the century. You're staring at a mountain of cash. But now what? Seriously, what do? You can't just stroll into a Ferrari dealership with a duffel bag stuffed with bills, right? That's a one-way ticket to jail. And that is the exact problem money laundering was invented to solve. So, to really get how this all works, let's meet our guy for today, Crocodile. He's ambitious, he's super crafty, and after his latest job, he is very, very rich. But as he's about to learn, stealing the money, that was the easy part. So, our story kicks off with Crocodile hitting the First National Riverbank. He makes off with an absolutely massive haul of shells. That's the currency in his world. So, boom, he's rich. But, and this is a big but, his new fortune comes with a huge, huge catch. Yeah, he literally can't spend a single shell. Think about it. If he suddenly starts buying fancy stuff, the cops are going to be all over him. Hey, Crocodile, where'd you get all these shells? Every single one of those stolen shells is like a glowing arrow pointing right back to his crime. He's got to figure out a way to make them look clean. And this is where the real genius of the whole plan kicks in. Crocodile gets it. He can't just bury the shells in his backyard. No, he needs to give them a believable backstory, a totally legitimate origin. He needs a cover. And oh boy, does he find the perfect one. What does he do? He opens up a small laundry business. A laundry. A bit on the nose, right? But think about why. A laundromat is what you'd call a cash-intensive business. It's totally normal for a place like that to have tons of physical cash or, shells coming in and out every day. It's the perfect front for mixing his dirty money with clean, real earnings. Okay, so how does a simple laundry business actually wash stolen loot and turn it into spendable income? Well, this right here is the heart of the whole operation. It all boils down to this four-step wash cycle. First, pretty obvious, he opens the business. Step 2 is where the magic happens. He fakes his income. So let's say he actually washes 10 shirts, but he writes in his books that he washed 100. Step 3, he takes those stolen shells and just mixes them into the cash register with the money from the real 10 sales. Now it all looks like it came from those 90 fake customers. And then the final, most brilliant step, he pays taxes. And not just on the real sales, he pays tax on all 100 sales. That one move creates a legitimate paper trail that is super, super hard for anyone to argue with. So check out this transformation. On one side, you've got the stolen shell. It's basically a piece of evidence. It's unspendable, and it screams police suspicion. But after it goes through Crocodile's laundry, it becomes a clean shell. Now its story is that it was earned from the business. Taxes have been paid on it. It's not stolen loot anymore. It's a legal salary. And that brings us to the grand finale, the moment that laundered money officially becomes Crocodile's personal, totally legit income. See, as the owner of this incredibly successful, and I'm using air quotes here, laundry business, Crocodile can now pay himself a salary. And the shells he uses to pay himself, they're the exact same shells he stole from the bank. But on paper, they're not stolen anymore. They've been completely reborn as legitimate earnings from all his hard work. So what's the payoff for all this trouble? Well, this is it. With his system looking pretty much foolproof, Crocodile can finally enjoy the spoils of his crime without constantly looking over his shoulder. And now the spending spree begins. He gets himself a flashy new car. He's dining on the best fish money can buy. He even builds this massive treehouse. He is living the absolute high life. And the best part? He's doing it all right out in the open for everyone to see. Now, you can bet the police are still suspicious. I mean, come on. A tiny little laundry business making this much money? It's definitely weird. But here's the thing. When they come knocking and ask to see the books, everything is perfect. The income is all there, the expenses are all accounted for, and most importantly, the taxes are paid. There is absolutely zero proof of any crime. So this all leads to a really big question, right? If Crocodile made everything look legal and he even paid his taxes, what's the big deal? Why is money laundering such a huge crime? Well, Here's why it matters. Money laundering is the engine that makes almost every other major crime profitable. Think about it. Drug trafficking, terrorism, massive corruption. None of it works if you can't use the money. By giving criminals a way to make their dirty money clean, laundering fuels the very crimes that threaten our society and economy. It's the ultimate reminder that just because something looks clean on the surface doesn't mean there isn't a whole lot of dirt hidden underneath.